Hello, my name's Nathan McAvoy, ex-Super League Rugby League player, ex-international Rugby League player also, now part of the Seven Brothers Brewery and Seven Brothers Beerhouse's business. Why is it important to share? I guess for me, this success in any kind of relationship, whether it's with a relationship with yourself or with other people or as part of a team, as I was, and even am now to a certain extent, is the success of that is based around communication. You know, if you're not able to communicate how you feel or what you're thinking to an extent that other people understand it, then you know you're not going to have any kind of success. I've often thought that the key to a successful relationship is just talking it out, communicating, talking about your feelings, talking about what you're thinking, and just getting it all out on the table so that it can be, if there's a problem, it can be fixed, or if there's just something that you feel like you need to discuss, it can be discussed and it can be understood as well. So for me, yeah, it's all about communication, but not just talking about factual stuff. It's talking about the actual deep-seated, deep-rooted feelings of what you're thinking and of what it is going on inside yourself. I mean, inside your brain as well. You know what's going on in your head. Some people are lucky enough to have an outlet, and some men are lucky enough to have an outlet like that, such as myself. I'm very lucky to have an understanding family. I've got a big family. If there's ever any issues, I'm able to get what I'm thinking out onto the table, and we can work through it. Whereas there's so many men out there who haven't got that outlet. And it shows, the statistics show that there's a lot of men who have got problems, who have got issues, and rather than talk about it, they would rather take a different route. And that shows in the statistics of suicide, of male mental health, and it's something that does need to be addressed. And that's why we want to create a focus around it and an attention around it that needs to be discussed. I think personal issues for myself, which kind of forced me to come to terms with how I was feeling and how I got my issues across to the people who love me the most, and even to myself as well, because I think that's the most important thing, is being honest with yourself as well as being honest with other people. It's being honest with yourself about what is actually going on within yourself. A few issues throughout my life that have forced me down the path that I've gone down in terms of understanding my own feelings, my own emotions. Certainly one of them was when I retired from Rugby League. The fear that I felt inside. I had a young family, I had a wife, I had a pretty big mortgage, and all of a sudden, through injuries and just through the factors that are quite prevalent within a game, within a sport such as rugby league. Injury does happen, and fortunately for me, it came later on in my career. For other players, it comes a lot sooner. I know a few lads that I know, a few friends that I know, were forced to retire at a really early age. What do you do with that? How do you process that in your head? Something that you love doing is now something that you cannot do anymore. How does that manifest itself within yourself, and how do you come to terms with it, and how do you deal with that problem? For me, it was just people around me who were able to understand what I was saying, and for them to be able to tell me that I am more than just that sport. I am capable of much more, and that's what allowed me to understand that there was a lot more within me rather than just the game, rather than just the sport of rugby league. So when I had to retire, a lot earlier than I was planning on doing, I was forced to squash all those emotions and all those feelings, and just do what I needed to do as a man, which was to provide, which was to step up to the plate, make sure that there was enough money coming in for the mortgage, make sure that there was enough money coming in to put the food on the table, making sure there was enough support for my wife, who was going through a difficult time as well. It wasn't just a difficult time for me; it was a difficult time for all my family. And there was a certain amount of having to squash all those emotions away. But eventually, you come to a point where you just think, I can't do that anymore. I have to let it out, and having the right people around you is really important for just allowing yourself to come to terms with certain difficulties within your life. Certain times can be kind of turning points within your life. Recently, I've had difficulties within my own personal relationship with my wife. That was because I was pushing feelings down. I wasn't openly expressing myself with my wife. All it takes is one honest conversation to make everything okay again. Some people just aren't able to do that. They just aren't able to process it, and it's not about finding it within yourself to communicate. It's about other people understanding and holding out a hand of help. Like I say, I'm fortunate enough to have that network of people around me. But like I said, so many other men and so many other people don't have that. So offering that hand of help is vital. It can save lives, basically. I'm Nathan McAvoy. Let's talk about it.